Hi, in this video we'll go over how you can calculate percent of total in ThoughtSpot. In the previous video we went over level of detail expressions, which is the group aggregate function in ThoughtSpot. We'll be using that to calculate percent of total. Uh, we can definitely use the keyword to get to percent of total generally, but we'll look at some advanced use cases because we want to slice our data by various dimensions and then calculate percent of total. So we'll create formulas for multiple levels and see how that plays out. Perfect. So let's firstly pull in product and sales. So this is the total sales by product, and let's sort it descending. So the first use case is, say we want to calculate what percent of sales does this product make of the total sales. In order to do that, let's create a formula. Let's call it share of total sales. So we'll have a numerator and we'll have a denominator. In the numerator we want the sales of that product, so it will simply be the sales or the value that is in the particular cell. So we'll just do sum of sales and then divided by, which is our denominator. So in the denominator we want the total sales. Now in order to calculate total sales, we'll use the group aggregate function. So group aggregate sum of sales, comma, because we want total sales, we do not want any grouping, so what we'll do is we'll just open and close curly brackets, and then for now we'll accept all filters. So we'll write query filters open close bracket and close bracket. So this is the syntax we'll be using. Also, if you want to better understand how to use the group aggregate function, you can definitely refer to my previous video. Perfect. Let's save this. Let's change the number formatting to percentage. Let's keep it as 0 decimal or maybe 1 decimal. So yeah, now you see for Yosemite jacket, we know that this particular product makes up 1.5% of total sales. Now the second use case, say let's add in region. So if we add in region, you see the share of total sales changes because it is referring to the cell value. So now we know that travel duffel in the west region makes up 0.5% of the total sales. But imagine we want to also understand what percent of sales does travel duffel in the west region make up of the total travel duffel sales. So meaning the numerator will still be the same, but in the denominator we want the total sales of that particular product. So let's create another formula. Let's call share of product sales, and then the numerator will still be same sum of sales, but in the denominator what we will change is we'll change the level of grouping. So we want to calculate sales out of that total product sales. So in the denominator we'll keep the product as the grouping, and then we'll keep query filters as it is. So now you see we know that travel duffel sales in the west region makes up 35.9% of the travel duffel sales all across the country. Now imagine a third use case where you want to understand what percent of travel duffel sales, how much does travel duffel sales contribute to the total sales in the west region. So we do not want it by product, but we want it by the region. So say the total sales of travel duffel in west is 5.12 million, and in the west region say it's 100 million, so we know that okay, it's close to 5%. In order to do that, we'll follow the same formula syntax, but we'll just change the grouping. So this would be share of region sales. So the numerator would be the same, and in the denominator we'll just change the grouping. So instead of product, what we'll do is we'll add region here, and then we'll keep query filters as it is. So we have some good data points already here. So see, travel duffel in the west region makes up 0.5% of total sales. It makes up 1.5% of the total region sale, and then it makes up 35.9% of the total product sales. So these are the three data points that we have, and this is how we can use level of detail expressions um, in ThoughtSpot to calculate percent of detail. Also, all of these right now are accepting all filters. So say if we filter it only for 2024, you would see the values slightly change. So yeah, so share of product sales becomes 29.2%, and Midwest region is the one that has the highest sales in travel duffel. So yeah, this was the video on percent of total. In upcoming videos, we'll explore more use cases of LOD expressions in general, but also some advanced use cases of how you can massage your data in ThoughtSpot. Thanks.